sweating, trembling, shortness of breath. You're starting to have chest pains. Most will think this is a heart attack. What I'm talking about is a common plague in America today, an anxiety attack. Anxiety disorders are becoming more and more common in America. Studies show right now about 20% of Americans suffer from some form of anxiety disorder. That's about 1 out of every 5 people. I know what you're thinking. You didn't know I could do math. No, but in all seriousness, that's probably a few of us in this room are actually suffering from an anxiety disorder. But I want to differentiate between anxiety and worry. Worry is a normal, typical psychological state. Worried about giving a speech, worried about taking a big test, or perhaps making a big financial condition. These are normal. Anxiety is not considered a normal psychological state. Where worry is temporary, anxiety will linger and linger and linger and pester. So today I want to talk about anxiety, the science behind it, what causes it, and then also some potential treatments options for it. So according to historical data, it's generally accepted that humans began living in advanced civilization around 10 to 12,000 BC. Human beings themselves have been around for roughly 200,000 years. So relatively speaking, we've really only been living in these safe and secure environments for a short amount of time. It was an everyday occurrence for our ancestors for many, many years to wake up and face a life-threatening situation, whether it's be the prey of a saber-toothed tiger, dealing with ice ages, plagues, wars, famine, you name it, the human species has been through it. So why is this all important? Why is this relevant to anxiety? Because of this, scientists believe that humans developed a very powerful built-in alarm system in their brains that would be transmitted to their bodies to deal with danger. That normal alarm system is anxiety. When the brain senses danger, anxiety will release chemicals from the brain into your body to translate into a heightened state of awareness in your body. This is known to many as the fight or flight response. And many times this can be a good thing, and anxiety is not always a bad thing. You know, if you're hiking on the edge of a cliff and you approach the edge of the cliff and you get anxious or nervous, that's good because your body's telling you don't get too close to there, there's danger. Or if you're in a rough area or in a dangerous situation, your body will naturally tense up, and again, that's good because your brain is telling you need to get out of there and get to a different situation. Anxiety disorder, however, is where the brain is tricking the body into believing there's threats that aren't actually real. Someone's stalking me and is trying to assassinate me. I constantly think I'm down with a debilitating illness. People are out to get me, or in social situations, everyone is judging me. Social anxiety. These are threats that the brain is tricking into the body into believing that are real. The result is you can be in a safe, secure, sound environment, but your body can be hypertense and apprehensive and nervous of everything that's going around. This can lead to severe emotional distress, relationship issues, and even inability to function at work. So what is the main cause of it? The main cause of it is excessive stress. When we experience stress, we feel overwhelmed. And so the more stressed you are, the more likely your brain is going to snap into scanning for potential threats that aren't real. That's why it's common for anxiety disorders to be found in people over 20. Because you think about it, in kids, you just don't have as much responsibility or stress to deal with in everyday life. If you have an anxiety disorder, you're not weird, you're not different. As I said, it's very common. And more studies are coming out to prove that anxiety disorders are hereditary and genetic. In fact, a study at the University of Wisconsin just completed where it showed that heightened levels of brain activity, which leads to anxiety, are passed down from families from generation to generation. So if you struggle with anxiety, chances are someone in your family has and someone in your family will in the future. The other cause can be your environment. If you grow up in a very violent, loud, dangerous environment, your chances are you're more prone to anxiety. That's why a lot of times we see veterans coming back from wars and having to deal with post-traumatic stress syndrome, which is also a form of anxiety. So lastly, what are the treatments? As I said, studies showed 20% of the U.S. population deals with some form of anxiety disorder. They also show that 1/3 of that 20% do not seek help or treatment for their anxiety disorder. So again, there's roughly 15 or more people in this room, so that means there might even be somebody in this room right now who has some type of anxiety disorder, who's not seeking help or getting treatment. Get help. You beat a severe anxiety disorder two ways: counseling and treatment. Counseling, it's therapeutic to talk about your anxiety disorder. What threats are you perceiving, and talk through them and how they're not real. Most counselors will also try to psychoeducate you so you can really understand your brain or why it's constantly making these false threats. So it empowers you and you recognize when these false threats arise that they're not real and they're not actuality causing danger to your body. The other thing, the science shows the people who are prone to anxiety disorders have lower levels of certain chemicals in the brain. So that's where medication can come in and just increase those chemicals in the brain to help you combat anxiety. If you don't have quite as severe of anxiety disorder and you just want some natural tips, the two most common ones are exercise and medication. Both have been scientifically proven to calm the brain down. Mindfulness meditation over the past couple of years has become a really popular trend. And basically the theory behind that is staying mindful, staying in the present of what's going on. You're training your brain to keep your body in the present and focus on what is actually happening today. Where if you think about anxiety, it's really stressed and worried about potential threats that could happen to you in the future. So again, mindfulness just keeps you in the present. Lastly, avoid cats. I'm not talking about the animals. CATS is an acronym that stands for caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and sugar. All four of those have been scientifically proven to be triggers for anxiety. And the last thing I say is studies have shown that women are more likely to go and seek help for anxiety disorders, where for whatever reason, men, there's this inside of us, we want to just be brave or be tough or fight it out and don't like to talk about our feelings. And they find that men oftentimes will avoid treatment and kind of convince themselves they don't have a problem. If you are dealing with it, it's normal. Get help, and it will improve the quality of your life. Thank you.